the patient population that is going through infertility, and you are going to be that rude? You need to find another profession. Do ultrasounds on something else, not the infertility population. Holy smokes, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I will not step foot in that clinic again. Is the wind too loud? The very windy. Hi friends. I finally found a quiet place to pick up the camera. So we've got Philip working on a project inside, needing a little bit of quiet. He's working on some fun projects. And the wind is going crazy today. It is so windy. And it's kind of crazy because I was looking back on, we filmed like a little bit of a snow day that we had just a couple of weeks ago. And so fun, but that was only a few weeks ago. And then just the other day, we were in shorts and a t-shirt because it was 79 degrees, which is like a typical spring in Tennessee. It's just, you never know what the temperature is gonna be. Snow gear or shorts and a t-shirt?
Open it.
Yeah, you can open it. Okay, I can't even do it. I can't storytell in one spot. I've got to at least walk around. So hopefully, seems like the wind's died down a little bit in the last 30 minutes. And hopefully this little cover on the microphone will block off the wind and you can still hear me. You want Uppy? Can I just hold your hand? What do you think?
This thing is too high. Wait.
The RV should be moving, but it's been raining off and on, and so the ground is just wet enough that we don't totally want to move it, but the plan is to take the RV, drive down, pull up here a little bit onto the ground, and then back it up to the side over there of the lean-to. Oh my gosh, actually, is this the vlog? I'm gonna show you our new lean-to? Maybe not. I have too big of a story for today's vlog. We'll come back to this. I'll give you a sneak peek anyways. Lean-to, halfway, done. Animals, over here. Milking, over here. It's been pretty crazy. And I'll have to do like a whole milk update just because how stinking fun is it, the fact that I can make all of my own milk products. But unexpectedly, we went from milking once a day to twice a day. Wesley was weaned. If you follow me on Instagram, you keep most up to date right there. And Wesley gave Buttercup a little teat injury. We caught it early. It wasn't bad, but it was enough where all of my mentors, she got hurt.
The mama got hurt.
The mama got hurt?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the mama got hurt. And for anybody who's ever nursed,
Bite open.
you know that feeling. And then I know for me, for years, I would have killed for any kind of injury because I wanted to nurse that bad. And the fact that I have gotten to nurse even once in my life is beyond a blessing. I wish I could do it again. What was I coming over here for?
My bike.
Oh, I'll have to show you the build in another vlog. But anyways, we have an obscene amount of milk because we're milking twice a day. I'm getting almost 3 gallons, maybe like 2.5 gallons. And so we are cranking through milk. I'm about to be starting hard cheeses. We have mozzarella coming out of our ears. And so hard cheeses is on the way. But so much fun homestead stuff. This is just our love, our passion, and it's really fun when you make friends with people who are very much into the same lifestyle or hobby or something that you are.
Detecto won't work.
The Detecto won't work?
Yeah.
Tell me more. This is because the kids didn't turn off the light, so they get about an hour. The Detecto don't work.
This will work.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
turn.
because that is not on there. Daddy can fix it. Where's your bike? You want to take your bike outside? Is it in the field?
No. It's next to our garden.
It's next to the garden. Okay, let's go to the garden. Going on a bear hunt. I'm not afraid. We are getting into our hay. I think we officially decided we just have enough to make it because our mid-sized cow eats like a full-size cow. She likes her food. But it is very fun when you find people that like to do the same things you do. And so we ended up spending last weekend at our friends helping them on their homestead. And luckily enough, we are blessed that we have someone who can farm sit. And finding someone who can farm sit and milk a cow, pretty rare. And they're awesome, and we love them. So the last vlog, we talk about what are our options moving forward with infertility. And last weekend, it really solidified on one of those options I gave is a no-go. Hopefully the screaming fun children in the background isn't too loud. So what's the reason why one of them is such a no-go and which one? So the option I gave you, I think it was option 2, was to work with the clinic here. And I think like a caveat to that was finding another clinic around here. That's still a possibility. But I will never be stepping foot in the fertility clinic that we went to here. And a lot of you followed us through our infertility journey because we have a very special gift that I know is so special, and I wish everybody could have it, and we want to help everybody have it, but we do really remain positive through a lot of difficult situations. That is our gift, is to remain positive. And I really tried to stay positive. There were so many situations where I was like, don't like this, but push through. I pretty much ignored my discernment of we shouldn't be here for pretty much the whole time. But this last year I kept feeling like, I don't know if this is the place we should be. And I kept saying, let's just stay here anyways. And a lot of people warned me not to go here. And part of it is that conveyor belt feeling, going to a fertility clinic and you're just on a conveyor belt. And when it comes to the medical field in general, there are gems that you find that care and they love what they do, and they really want to see a difference, life change. There is a lot of money that is in the medical field, and sometimes money results in greed. But I have a story time. There's like a bunch of things I want to say, but I think I'm just going to jump into the story. And it was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Last cycle, not this one where I should have been monitored, but I don't have a place to be monitored as of right now. Last cycle, I went in on day 2. And I was really excited. I was going to be monitored by my previous doctor, kind of see what was going on for that cycle. She could get a little bit more information, and she asked me, do they have good ultrasound techs? I said, I think so. Would they be willing to measure each follicle? Because for her, that is something very specific that she does, and she believes she is very detail oriented. It is not just a, hey, we'll wait and see, and if it doesn't work, you can just do it again. Like, she really covers all of her bases. And so I was getting ready to go in on day 2. Mind you, I called to schedule the appointment. I couldn't go in on day 2 because that fell on a Saturday. And they only allow Saturday and Sunday patients for very specific urgent needs. And doing a day 2 ultrasound does not qualify for that. And my previous doctor was shocked because she feels like that is such impertinent data that she wants to see. And if you can't check them on day 2, I had to go in on day 1 because it was either going to be on day 1 or day 4. So I went in on day 1. And when I called to schedule the appointment, they said, I want to let you know that it's an extra $100 every single time that you come in to be an outside monitoring patient. Now, if you want to go back and use the doctors here, we can waive that and you won't have that fee. Now, it feels a little slimy to me. It's one thing where, does it create a little bit extra work to have to fax something? Sure. $20, $40, $50, $100 for your facility to not even have to do anything with it, and you just have to send it on over. That seemed very icky to me, and I really didn't like that. I think that feels taking advantage of this people group of people that are going through infertility where, well, they'll pay for it because they want it so bad. Like, that's how it feels. Whether that's the case, someone that can work in IVF financing, you can reach out to me and share with me how maybe that's different on why it has to be an extra $100 every single time you come in for an ultrasound. Now, next, I went in on day 2 and I was ready for my ultrasound and I talked to her, and the ultrasound tech was wondering if we had ever met before and making some small talk. And then I said, my doctor wants every single follicle counted and measured. And she looked at me and said, I'm not going to do that. That is a complete waste of time. And I wish from the bottom of my heart I was exaggerating the way she said it. I wish so bad that she said it like, oh, we don't normally do that. Like, that's not what we do at this clinic. That seems really strange. That seems a little excess. I'm not sure if I can do that, or any kind of wording would have been nicer than, I'm not going to do that. That is a complete waste of time. I was shocked. I was so taken back that I didn't know how to respond. And I should have stood up for myself and said, this is what my doctor requires for me to have an ultrasound. If you're not going to do this, then I need to leave and not pay for this ultrasound. I'm paying you. What I pay, my bill, is to pay your paycheck. The reason you're here, the reason you have a job here is because of patients like me. And you're the one that's coming at me extremely rude. So uncaring, so unloving, so not understanding of the patient population she's working with. The patient population that is going through infertility, and you are going to be that rude? You need to find another profession. Do ultrasounds on something else, not the infertility population. Holy smokes, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I will not step foot in that clinic again. And it wasn't just because of this one person, this one interaction, this one ultrasound tech. It was a lot of interactions with a lot of different team members from all statuses, which is the reason why I'm deciding, okay, I'm just not going back there. So she had looked on the order, and the order said to count every follicle, including microfollicles. She said she would count the big ones. She would not be able to go in and count all the microfollicles. Now, the other issue is that the clinic wouldn't let me come in on day 2 or 3, and my released follicle was still big enough where it was kind of blocking some of the ovary so that they couldn't see all the follicles anyways. So I didn't even get a monitoring cycle. I got a bill, and I had to pay a bill for getting no data that my doctor could use. Yeah, that was cool. And I'm really tired of paying infertility bills. I really am. I wish I would have had more guts at the time to stand up for myself and say something back. I think I was just so shocked. I couldn't believe that someone would take that stance in an infertility clinic. It just blew my mind. And so while we were at our friend's house for a homesteading day, it reminded me again that my cycle fell on a weekend, and it looks like it's going to fall on a weekend possibly until it gets shoved over by just like a day. And I would never have been able to be monitored on day 2 from that clinic. Anyways, okay, so then where am I at now? I would have to call around and find a different place to be an outside monitoring patient. And there are some places I can look up. If anybody has done this in the Nashville area, I'd love for you to reach out to me and let me know. And my doctor is specific. It's not just a general ultrasound. Like, she really wants very specific, good reading ultrasounds with a lot of detail. So I could find an infertility clinic here. I'll probably share in the next vlog. We are actually going to be focusing in on our health for a handful of months to try to get our bodies in the best tip-top condition that they can be. Now, I know before, if I was talking to someone who was getting older, I would have always encouraged them, okay, don't wait too long, like, come on, keep pushing forward and get back into that RV and come travel and come see me. I still think that would be so fun. But I do think that the option that we are finding, I will share more details, but I think the option that we're finding is going to get our bodies in the tip-top shape possible, and I'm excited to see what that can do first. Now, I have gotten a lot more patient with our infertility as we have grown our family. Now, would I have thought that we would have more kids by now? Yes. Do we pursue adoption while we are kind of naturally healing our bodies? Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, I have toyed around with that idea as well. I've also toyed around with the idea of Ethel not ripping up my yard, but sometimes things just don't happen. However, her ripping up this yard, we can see it as all of the ugliness. It doesn't look pretty, but the reality is, it takes up digging this stuff up, and it's going to be 10 times more beautiful as new growth comes in the spring. So sometimes maybe us working on our body looks a little messy, and it doesn't look like, hey, you're not really getting that much closer to having a baby. But you know what? Maybe we will be getting closer to us having a baby with digging it up, getting up the muck, getting out the growth, and then the new life that can come forth from that might be 10 times more beautiful, and that can be really cool. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to share at the end of videos. Eventually I'll share at the beginning of videos, but for now, I'm talking to our core community, the ones who have stuck with me all the way to the end of this video. You could give it a thumbs up or some kind of fun emoji in the comments so I know which of you who have gotten to the end. But we are in the process of actually building a community. We've kind of tiptoed around sharing about this. There's something that has changed, and I think you guys can all feel it. The world's very different. Let's just call it what it is. I could really dive into that pretty deep, but we usually kind of don't share too much on our big stances. So the world has changed, but social media has changed so much too. And Instagram used to be this small knit community, and I would find people who would do hashtag infertility sucks, and I would find friends, and I made my friends through Instagram. And YouTube was a smaller, close-knit community. We were connecting with each other. We were making friends with each other. I think you all can feel me on this. The community has gotten so much more of a consumer mindset than actually forming a community. It's been about taking in the posts and swiping and reels and social media, sucking you in and figuring out how long can we keep them on this app. Really, let's be honest, like that is proof. They scientifically want to figure out how to keep us on social media. And so that's why you kind of see me fall off Instagram every so often, because I just don't want to let them suck me in, to be honest. And even though this is like what I do, I share, I publicly share with you guys, and I don't want anyone to feel alone. The community has turned one-sided, and there's so much I want to share with you and give to you, and for us to share together and build that close-knit community again. I'm just telling you, keep an eye out. We are building a community. What it will consist of is getting longer and longer, and that's why it's going to take longer and longer for us to get launched, because what we want to put in it has gotten longer and longer. But there's a lot of fun things to come with this community, so if you don't want to miss that, go ahead and sign up for our newsletter. I will leave it in the description of every video, or you can go to our website. It will be at www.philandalex.co.co. And from there, at the very bottom, you can click the link to sign up for our newsletter, because it's time for us to have that community back. What did you find? Golf balls? Well, look at you. You did find some golf balls. So anyways, that is where I'm at. I am at a place where watching an infertility clinic being run the way it should not be run. I want to make a class to teach people how to act. I used to have to go through classes as nursing, and a lot of it was how we would act as nurses. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of people that work at infertility clinics that need a attitude adjustment. I'm just going to say, major attitude adjustment. We could bring it to infertility clinics across the country, because that would be the first step, reminding people why they care. Anywho, so much to share, but that will have to be for the next vlog, because this has gotten long, and I'm so thankful for all of you who stuck with me to the end. You guys are the best. I love you. I love this community. I love the community that we've been able to build, and you guys are awesome. Let's just do it life together. Are you ready? Let's do this. Until next time, go let your love multiply. Bye, guys.